You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Adult language and violence.
You are now listening to the #1 MMA show in America.
Come on, you want some of this?
CageDenMMA.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is CageDenMMA. I'm your host, Errol Marks. And I don't have a co-host today. Rodney Harrison is not in the studios today. So it's just me and Sensei and his 3 goons. Yes, as you know, I know he doesn't like that. As you know, our number is 1-845-478-3272 is the number to call. As you also know, you can follow us by going to our website at worldwidesportsradio.com, and you can search us on all our social media. How do you do that? You go to Periscope, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, radio.com, and iHeartRadio. You can check us on all the platforms by going to our website. Rodney Harris is not. I always mess up Tyler Harrison and Rodney Harris. So they practically have the same last name. It's just the son is missing. But we have 4 very special guests here today. We have Dante, the new, I guess you could say fiance, or the only fiance.
How is he a new fiance?
I don't know. You got to talk into the mic, Sensei. You know, I got to help somewhere or another. But we have her only fiance in the studio, Dante. We have Jessica. We have Ruki, and we have Sensei John Benedict. But before we get into the interview, and I do want to get into the fights that are coming up at Jackhammer Promotions, I do want to get into the whole Conor McGregor saga. And I know a lot of people watched the fight last Saturday, and I understand why everybody wants to watch Conor McGregor. He's the big profile fighter right now the UFC has. He's coming back from 3 years being out of the MMA octagon. And I understand when you look at Conor McGregor and the big mouth that he is and the show-off that he is, and he likes to show off, he likes to promote his whiskey, he wants to promote his Reebok deal or whatever the heck he's promoting. This guy loves to promote himself, and the guy knows how to make money. The one thing I look at Conor McGregor that really throws me off and really pisses me off, as this guy has no respect for really the sport and respect for the fighters that he fights. Now, I understand when after the fight, he kissed Donald Cerrone, but he only kissed him because he whipped his ass, and I think he was paid to lose that fight. I think Donald Cerrone was paid to lose that fight because everybody knows the UFC right now only has 2 superstars. They have Conor McGregor and they have John Jones. And right now, those are the 2 high-profile fighters right now on those cards. John Jones, his fight's coming up next month in February. And then, obviously, they have the Khabib and Ferguson fight coming out in April. The UFC right now, their pay-per-view is down 10% since Conor McGregor and John Jones was out with the steroids using. Now, I know when you look at Dana White, and everybody thinks Dana White is a genius. The guy knows what he's doing. He knows how to sell his product. He knows everything. The problem with Dana White, and I've said this over and over and over again, this guy only cares about one thing. He cares about money. He doesn't care about his fighters. He doesn't care about paying his fighters. And he doesn't care about his fighters trying to make money on the side to promote themselves. Now, I watched the fight, and I don't know who was watching the fight that day, who wasn't watching the fight. 40 seconds, Donald Cerrone has never been knocked out that way in his career. Now, I know Conor after the fight came out that he's the only fighter in history to knock out fighters under a minute in 3 different weight classes. Who cares? Nobody gives a crap about what Conor McGregor, who he knocks out, and the talent that he knocks out. Donald Cerrone is an old man. The guy is 38 years old, 37 years old. He's been fighting since he was 22, 23 years old. He's fought more fights in the UFC than any fighter in history. And what I saw on Saturday night was an embarrassing statement of where the UFC is and where they're going. Because the UFC have been trying. Dana White has been trying year in and year out, trying to find new talent. And unfortunately, you watch him on YouTube, he was going around the country and the world with Matt Serra trying to find the next big Ultimate Fighter. And he had these TV shows, and I don't know if the show is on still, the next Ultimate Fighter, and if it is, nobody's watching it. There is no fighter that I've seen in the last 2 years that I can honestly say that is going to be the next superstar, the next guy up for Conor McGregor and John Jones. And what the UFC is trying to promote is these two morons, John Jones, who can't get out of the tabloids. If it's not steroids, it's cocaine use, or driving a car drunk, doing stupid things on and off, or out of the octagon, or on the street, whatever the heck he's doing. And then what Conor McGregor does on and out of the octagon. This guy is an embarrassment, and I know a lot of people love him. All the Irish fighters and all the Irish people, they love him. They want to get a piece of Conor McGregor and his whiskey. Here's what I think about Conor McGregor, and I think everybody knows what I'm going to say about Conor McGregor. And I said it on my show Down to the Wire during the week. This guy is a showman. This guy, all he cares about is making money. He doesn't care about the fan as much as he makes it seem like he does when he was speaking at the end of the fight saying, I love the fans, I thank everybody for following me. Because the truth is, the fans are the ones that are putting money in his pocket. And if they weren't putting money in his pocket, he could give a rat's ass about you, me, or anybody else. Just like Dana White. He doesn't give a crap about his fighters. And that's the problem with the UFC right now. They don't draw anymore like they were doing 2 or 3 years ago. As much as everybody says the UFC is growing and it's taking over boxing. There are better fighters right now in the heavyweight division in boxing than there is in the MMA division, in heavyweight division. There are better fighters right now in the middleweight division in boxing than there is in the MMA world. And that's where you have to look at right now when you're talking about prize fighting and all these prize fighters. Look at what the fighters make in boxing. Some of them are making $15 million a fight. Some of them are making $3 million a fight. Some of them are making Mayweather money where he's making $100 million a fight. The only time you see an MMA fighter make that kind of money is Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is drawing between $3 and $5 million a fight. Anderson Silva, who dominated the UFC for 8 years, the most money he's made in a fight was $1.2 million. And this is where the UFC is going. When you look at the pay-per-views and the pay-per-view sales that they're making $150 to $160 million every pay-per-view. 3 years ago, they were making $250, $300 million a pay-per-view. This last pay-per-view was almost at an all-time high because Conor McGregor was on the card. He fought an old man Cerrone. I call him Cowboy Old Man because that's what he is. He's an old man. And they didn't want to, and I understand what Dana White's trying to do. He doesn't want to put Conor against Khabib or Ferguson or any of the good fighters right now in that division because he's been out of the MMA octagon for almost 3 years. The embarrassing thing about where the UFC is going is not the fact that the fighters aren't as big as they were 3 or 4 years ago. It's the fact that right now the UFC is trying to find the next big superstar. And I don't think they're going to find one. Because the selling tactics of what the UFC is trying to do with the John Jones card and what they did with the Conor McGregor card. Look at the card that Conor was on. Half of those fights would have never been on a card 3 years ago. Half of them. It is so watered down right now. The UFC is so watered down right now. I don't think the UFC understands where their product is going. I think there are better amateur fighting organizations that have better fights than the UFC does. You look at all of the amateur divisions right now here on Long Island. Triton, Jackhammer Promotions, all of the fights, all the different cards that you see, the ACC, and then you look at what the UFC is bringing out, and you look at the fighters, and everybody wants to be in the UFC. Why? Why do you want to be in the UFC? Because they sell out pay-per-views? Because they have movie stars like Tom, or football players like Tom Brady sitting on the sidelines. I look at the UFC as a whole, as an organization, and I think they're an absolute mockery of where fighting and mixed martial arts is going. And I think that mixed martial arts is one of the biggest sports in the world right now. I'm talking about in the world. You have Muay Thai, you have Judo, you have all these competitions, kickboxing tournaments. And then you look at the UFC, and I'm sorry. I don't need to watch this. I don't want to watch this. I think it's pathetic. So that's my spiel on Conor McGregor. And I'm sure if you guys want to call the show, 1-845-478-3272. We have, like I said, 4 special guests here at the studios of Worldwide Sports Radio Network. And we have their leader, Mr. Sensei John Benedict. What's going on, Sensei?
Hey, how you doing today? Thank you for having us again.
Absolutely, as you know, and I do want you to speak into the mic because you have a beautiful voice when you do speak.
I know. Some people tell
So,
me.
Sensei, obviously, Jessica has a fight coming up on Jackhammer Promotions.
So does Rookie.
So is Rookie. We'll get into Rookie, but we're going to talk about Jessica first. Bring your mic down a little bit. There you go. And Jessica is going in this tournament where all the top females in her division, in the MMA world, here in Jackhammer Promotions, are going to fight till one is standing.
Yeah, well, they're going to have 2 finals. This weekend, Jessica will be fighting 2 opponents, and if she wins that, then she goes to the finals in April. And if she wins that, then there's a competition that she'll be going to England. Mm-hmm. So there's some good competition. A lot of these girls we know already. Bobby has a great event over there, and we're looking forward to it. She's been training hard, working hard, and we're hoping that she's going to go all the way.
We could only hope. But I think she's got the ability to do that, and I think if her head's in the game and she knows what she's capable of doing in the in the ring, or that we can't call it octagon, so we'll call it a ring.
Right. Well, it's a K1 kickboxing.
Yes.
So yeah,
she has the opportunity to really explode off this divisional fight.
Oh yeah, she changed up her whole training regimen. Mm-hmm. She's running 6 miles every other day. She's putting in the work. Now it's all up to her. Go in there and be hungry and go get it.
So, Jessica, obviously this is a big fight coming up for you. And who are you fighting in this fight?
We don't know. They're going to be pulling
Oh, that's right. They're pulling the cards out tomorrow.
Yeah, they all reach in the box.
The weigh-ins are tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock, I think.
At one of the which bar is it?
It's not. It's going to be at Bobby's gym.
Bobby's gym. Okay,
Yeah.
Maybe I'll stop up there.
All right.
All right. So, Jessica, obviously we don't know who you're fighting, but you know the fighters that are going to be in this competition, in this tournament. Is there any particular fighter you want to fight?
I'll fight anybody. I really don't care who it is, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
They're all great fighters.
Jessica's short with words. I try. There's a lot of people in your gym. The only person that has that bright personality is Rookie.
Me.
Well, you do too, but I'm talking about your fighters.
All right.
I'm talking about your fighters. Every single one of your fighters that I meet, the only person that has that personality that'll go out there, laugh, giggle, make jokes. The last time I saw Rookie fight, Rookie was in the bathroom. Rookie was getting dressed in the bathroom, and he was wearing these shorts. He was wearing these shorts, and I'm like, "What are you doing in the bathroom with no flip flops on?" He was wearing no flip flops.
Why are you watching me change, man?
Hey, listen, I was taking a piss, okay?
I thought you were going to say.
I was taking a piss, and I see you with your whatever you call that, your man bun, your man bun, and I see you standing there, and you're hanging out in the bathroom. So that was the last time I saw you fight, and you actually won that fight. Of course.
Yeah, the one that he got the knockout, right?
That's right. Yeah. That's right. I was at the fight, and obviously, as you guys, you're pure sponsor. We sponsor you guys, and I love you guys, and I only wish the best upon you guys. I want you guys to win every single fight because it's good for us. You know what I mean? I love you guys. So
We've been with you for a long time. Right?
Absolutely. So Jessica, I find out. I think Sensei actually sent me a text message. I think it was about 4 or 5 weeks ago, telling me that you were engaged. Now, I was wondering who this lucky person is. This lucky person is, and then he shows up today, and I meet your fiance for the first time. Dante, what's going on, my friend?
Nothing much.
So, what? I hear you're in the service. What service are you in?
I'm in the Army.
You're in the Army. What do you do in the Army?
Infantry.
Infantry. Oh man, so you're the front guy. You're the guy that goes in first.
Yeah.
Just like college,
So Sensei says that you're one of his fighters. You've been fighting in his gym for quite a little while. Mm-hmm. What are you now? I want to know your opinion because I've asked Ruki and I've asked Jessica many, many times. What is the specific thing that Sensei teaches at his gym that really grows to the fighter?
That grows to the fighter.
Yeah, that the fighters really pick up. You know, there are things that fighters, draw to by each trainer. What does Sensei teach that draws you to work out in his gym and work with him?
In my opinion, what he teaches the most to me when I was going into his classes and everything and working hard, it's all the mental stuff that he teaches is what I picked up the most.
And explain, what do you mean by mental stuff?
I don't raise no bitches.
Yep.
Well, we know that.
Okay.
We know that.
He puts a different perspective on life and makes you just, any goals that you have, make sure you get them. Mm-hmm. If you set a goal for yourself, you just take that regardless of whoever's in your way of that.
So how long have you been dating Jessica?
Coming up on 2 years.
2 years.
Actually, it was a secret for a while, so.
It was a secret for a while.
Just recently.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. Just recently.
She had sponsors that wouldn't let her date, so we're past that now.
Yes. So Jessica, when I look at you and I know how tough you are, you're tough-minded and you're a tough broad. When you get into the ring, you like to punish people. Now, what drives you to fight? I've asked you this many, many times, and many, many times you give me a different answer. So I'm asking you again, what drives you to fight as a woman fighter and as you grow, with Sensei John Benedict and MMA Long Island?
What drives me to fight?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I'm really good at it, and it's fun. So, and I would say it challenges me to grow mentally and physically. So I really like a challenge and challenging myself to do better at it every time.
Were you surprised when Dante actually proposed to you?
No.
You weren't.
Wow.
Well, yes and no.
That wasn't good, though. So you didn't surprise her at all. You gave her like a 2-week notice then.
Oh, he gave her a notice?
Yeah,
hold on a second. When you propose to somebody, you don't give somebody a notice.
Apparently,
I had to let him know, I just got to set it, all right, just prepare for this next week,
Yeah.
Prepare for this. I'm going to give you a ring next week.
I'm going to give you a ring. Act surprised.
Oh my God.
So, Jessica, when he actually told you that he was going to propose to you, what did you say about that?
Well, I mean, I said yes, obviously.
Obviously, you said yes. What did your parents think about that?
They loved it. They're really happy about it.
They love Dante?
Yes, they love Dante.
Well, that's
We
good.
all love him.
yeah.
No, I ask you that because a lot of parents, there are some parents that don't like that significant other. That's why.
Well, this is my student, and the parents will love him.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay. All right.
We got your back, Dante. Don't worry about that.
Of course.
And Ruki, I know you're very confident about every time you get into the ring. And Ruki, I'll tell you this. There's nobody I know that fights like you. Because once that bell rings, you just go straight after whoever you're fighting. I mean, you just throw haymakers. You throw straight kicks. You're throwing roundhouse kicks. I mean, you do everything you can to knock that guy out. You put it down on him early in the fight to let him know your strength, your power. Let me ask you this question. As a fighter, and you're like 17 years old. You're a kid. 18 years old now?
18 now.
You're 18 years old. You're still a kid. You're a baby. And you've been working and training with sensei for since you were 5 years old, I think.
2.
2 years old.
2 years old, he walked in my school.
Right out the womb.
And I know the story behind you because we've talked many, many times on and off air. What drives you to fight still? I mean, as an 18-year-old kid.
Tell him the truth.
I don't know. It keeps me on the straight path.
Yeah, tell him the truth. Tell him about your mother won't let you quit.
Yeah. My mom won't let me quit no matter what.
It's always mom. That's it.
Yeah. She just tells me to just do it. Just get in there and just fight.
Your mom's your biggest fan,
Kill
I'll
them.
tell you that. And I love
definitely.
your mother. Your mother is the sweetest thing, and every
It's
time.
good food.
Yeah, I've never had her food. Well, maybe she'll bring me some food. I never had her
should
food.
know about the food.
Yeah, but I love your mother. Your mother is pretty straightforward. She doesn't beat around the bush, and she's a big fan of yours. Obviously,
Absolutely.
she's your mom, and she thinks that you can go all the way.
Oh, yeah.
But
She
It's up
supports
to
me
them.
everything.
They really can. If they push it, they can do whatever they want to do. The training is there for them. They're going to have to get in the ring and deal with the challenges of their fighter, but they're capable of doing it.
Dante, have you ever thought about getting into the ring and fighting yourself?
I'm not even sure about that. I'll do it if I have to do it, but right now I'm just focused on my armor career and keep pushing forward and going up in ranks.
Are you planning to go to school after the Army?
On school, once I do my my duty station or something like that, get anything that's provided to me by them, I would take that.
So, Rookie, I have more questions to ask you because I know you're a lovable guy, and I know you don't have a girlfriend. Am I right?
Yeah.
And I know why you don't have a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I wonder why.
Yes. So, let me ask you this question: when you go to these fights, and you have all these people, all the people from your gym come and watch the fights, and you have a huge crew of people that come. Usually between 20 and 25 people that come to the fights, to come and watch you guys fight. After the fights, or not even before the fights, do you ever get crowd, you get scared of the crowd, you get scared of fighting in front of hundreds of people? And I see Sensei making faces at me, but you want to know
I don't
something?
have fear. I don't teach them fear.
Yeah, but it's not about teaching somebody fear.
Well, listen.
It depends. It really depends on how many people there's, because if there's too many people looking at me, it just gets me pissed off. Like, why are you looking at me? Like, you have
Well,
no
they're
right
looking
to
at you
look
because they're a
me.
fan of yours.
Yeah, because you're in the zone for the fight. Yeah.
But I love them though.
You love them.
Yeah, to a point.
And
Jessica.
you don't have to work for 2 months, do you? Your sponsors took care of you for 2 months.
Jessica, when you watch Rookie fight, does he remind you of any other fighters that are right now in kickboxing or MMA right now? Is there any particular fighter that you have seen his style of fighting? Does anybody just stick out to you?
No, actually, I don't think there's anybody like him. He's just different.
Thanks, Jess.
Wow, you're complimenting each other. That's a good thing. Rookie, how about you when you look at Jessica? And don't answer the same question because I don't want to hear that.
But you're going to ask me the same question.
I'm asking you the same question, but I don't want you to answer the same question.
Okay.
So, is there any particular fighter that you can actually compare Jessica's style to?
Yeah, Jessica. Jessica's Jessica.
Well, then you just
I
answered the
really
same question.
I really
just-
cannot compare it to anybody
Really,
else.
you can't compare somebody to a certain
Her
fighter?
personality
Well,
is
I
like
think-
totally
I'm
different.
not talking about personality. I'm talking about style of fight.
But that's
Just her own
where I
style.
think
Different entirely.
the answer really is we fight like Goju warriors. This is the way everyone fights in my gym. We don't have anyone that fights differently. This is the way the style teaches us to teach. I mean, to fight, so that's how we are. So that's why they're similar,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm hard on that, right?
Well, I know you're hard.
24/7, he's always hard on us. No matter what we do or what we say, he's always on top of it. He pushes us to our limit and does not stop.
So when you look at the MMA world right now, and you look at Bellator, you have Rory McDonald, who's the big dominant fighter right now. I think he's the light heavyweight champion, the 185 champion right now with Bellator. And you have guys like Conor McGregor, you have Khabib and Ferguson, and you have all these good fighters. I mean, really, really talented fighters. Is there a particular fighter in the MMA world right now that, John, that you like, that you love his style of fighting, that he really draws you to watch him? There's nobody?
No, I don't really watch it.
You don't really watch it?
I'm too busy training. Well,
Yeah, but on Saturday night at like 10,
Nah.
11 o'clock at night?
If I'm not in it, I really don't want to watch it.
You really don't watch it?
No,
I'm
I
very
don't.
surprised.
No.
How about you? How about you, Rookie?
I don't watch anything.
You don't watch the UFC? You don't watch Bellator?
I don't watch UFC. I don't watch, like, Bellator. I don't watch any of that.
No? How about you,
I
Jessica?
honestly don't.
I don't watch it either.
Jeez, what is going on with you guys here?
We're not
Errol, I hope,
contaminated. We don't
Dante,
look
how
at
about you?
this.
Do you watch anything?
I don't think Dante watches it. If you guys saying that you don't watch it, I'm going to only predict that he doesn't watch it either.
Do you get privileges in the Army to watch TV? No. So,
No,
They
not
took
at
that
all.
away.
Dante, where are you stationed anyways?
Stationed at Fort Benning.
Oh, really? Okay. And how long are you up here?
Be up for a little bit. I'm gonna be training, getting my shit together. Gonna be comeback kicking.
he's on a medical right now, so
Okay.
he's got to get healthy again.
I gotcha.
So then he goes back. Hopefully less than 6 months, but we're going to push him.
Any new fighters that came in and out of your gym so far?
There's always fighters in my gym.
No, I mean new fighters that since the last time I've been there. I know haven't been there for.
Yeah, there's been a few new guys, but most people don't make it in my school. But we have a few other people that are interested, but no opportunity for them right now. They got to train a little harder, and we'll get them there.
Okay.
Old man Rob will be back soon. He just got the promoted to the sergeant in the NYPD, so he's got to get that done. Then he's going to return to Jackhammer and get back in the ring. He's 48? Yeah.
Right.
Is he older?
Really?
That's on Jessica.
Yeah, he's 48. So he's got to do 5 more fights he wants to do, and then slow down.
So I have a question for all of you because everybody knows my own situation with somebody in particular in the MMA world right now, in the kickboxing world, MMA world. How was it being interviewed by Kyle Carroll? It's he was a part of us a while ago, and
I didn't know that.
yes, he was a part of us a while ago, and me and him have our own differences throughout the social media market. So, how was it, interviewing with Kyle? And I have nothing against Kyle as a person. As a person of interest when it comes to MMA, I don't think he knows what he thinks he knows. But what are your thoughts with interviewing with different broadcasters, analysts? What is it like interviewing with different people? I mean, everybody is different. Everybody has their own approach. I'm a little crazy. I'm a little funny. I like to ask stupid questions. I like to get you guys more involved. I don't ask you the same particular question everybody says. Well, how do you want to be? What do you want to do in this fight? Particularly, how you want to fight this particular fighter and expect to win this fight? I don't ask you questions like that because you don't even know who you're fighting. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to ask you a question like that. That's not me. That's not my personality. So what is it like when people come to you in your dojo and meet some of your fighters, Sensei, and the questions that they ask? And I know some of the questions turn you off on their approach of asking your fighters a question.
Well, I don't let those type of media in my dojo.
Right.
So the only reason why we got the interview with Jessica was because we were at Bobby's and they had a little press contact. Like I said, it was they were respectful, courteous.
And I think I want to give a shout out. I know a lot of people out there think I don't like Kyle Carroll, and me and him have had our differences in many different ways at events, and I've learned how to respect him, and hopefully he respects me, and I could care less if he does or he doesn't, because I could care less. But to me, when I watch different people bring different interview styles to different personalities, it throws me off on some of the questions that they ask. Because me as a fighter, when I fought, when I had somebody come up to me and ask me at an event after my fight, ask me a question of Ring of Combat when I was in Philadelphia, and I had somebody actually interview out of ring and ask me questions, I didn't want to answer some of the questions because I didn't know how to answer them. You know what I mean? So it kind of throws me off when somebody asks me, well, how did you set up that punch to knock that guy out? And I'd be like, I don't know. He moved in the wrong position and I caught him. You know what I mean? So it's when somebody asks you a question, or how you get him in a Kimura, how did you get him in a chokehold, or how did you get him in the rear naked chokehold, or how did you get him in a knee lock? You know what I mean? All these questions. It throws me off because it's all instinct. It's all technique. So let me ask you this question, Sensei. When when you know you're fighting a fighter, if it's an MMA fight, and obviously this is a kickboxing fight that you're going into. And shout out to Bobby Campbell and Jackhammer Promotions. I can't wait to come to the fights this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been there in a while. I want to give a shout out to Bobby. He reached out to me, and I want to apologize to some of the fans out there because I know a lot of people at the events have reached out to me and say, where have I been and stuff like that. There's been a lot of things and maneuvering with our network, and I will be here more often with CageDenMMA, and I want to apologize to the fans because I know a lot of people loved our show and love our show, and it's hard. It's hard sometimes to get here on Fridays, but every other Friday I will be here at the studios doing the show. So I want to give a shout out. There are some people probably listening to the show right now, probably surprised that I'm here doing this show because they haven't seen me in about a month and a half. So I think Bobby puts on a great show. He really, really does. He knows how to match the fighters. He knows how to draw the fans to come to his events. There's like 2,000-3,000 people that show up to the events. There's nowhere to sit at his events. Nowhere. Which is remarkable. And McKay's, which is getting bigger, they're building onto it, which is remarkable what they're doing right there. And like I said, Bobby is one of the best promoters. And I'm not trying to blow smoke up his you-know-what. It's the truth. Bobby Campbell is one of the best promoters in Long Island, in New York State. What are your thoughts to his style of bringing different fighters together and really matching up fighters in particular fights?
Okay. Well, to answer a couple of your questions here is that when you look at Bobby does a good show. And I don't want to be involved with something that's not going to lift up my fighters. There's some kind of a Mickey Mouse organization where it takes them 12 hours to set up a ring, or it's just run the wrong way.
We've seen that in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If it's not going to highlight my fighters, if it's not going to do anything to benefit, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
And with Bobby really brings a lot to the table. And we're very grateful for Bobby and all the opportunities. Look, we got a lot of opportunities in other places as well, but Bobby shows you that he's going to be fair. Look, sometimes some of the fighters are overweight. We had a couple of times with Jessica's. Every fight that I think Jessica's had, most of the fighters were over the weight. They didn't make the weight. I didn't care. But, we understood that. It was a fair. So like I said, it's a very fair place to go to where you're not going to be set up. And I'm doing my homework. I'm always checking. I got spies everywhere. I got spies in every gym.
I know you do.
I really keep an eye out there.
I miss your crazy ass.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. When we sat down in your office, and I want to start coming back to your gym and talking to you because me and you have a good relationship, and I respect you not only as a sensei but as a person. Me and you get along. I mean, I'm not into guns like you, but
I'm into everything. You should see my 2 puppies I got.
I know. I heard you were telling me about the puppies. You wanted to bring them, but
2 attack dogs. Ready to.
I respect you as not only as a sensei, but I respect you as a person.
Thank you.
I look up to you. I mean, I think you're a good person by heart. You are a good
Unless
person.
you bring out the mean in me, but there's times when hey, I got to do my thing, and there's sometimes you got to step up and handle your business, But
I respect how you protect your fighters and you look out for your fighters.
my family. I'm not like you said earlier.
Yeah.
I'm not like UFC that throws your fighters to the wolves.
Yes.
Or don't take care of them. My job is to protect them.
And I agree with you. I think that's what makes you very unique. And the way I see how you train your fighters, you make sure that you're training with them one-on-one. You make sure that your fighters understand the way you train, and you train hard. I mean, if most people are doing 50 push-ups, you make them do 250 push-ups.
Well, look, you don't know what's out there. There are people out there hungry, working hard. You got to prepare for that. And that's why I said, like in Bobby's place, it's very, very fair. Where everyone that's going in the ring could go either way.
Right.
My guys could lose any of these fights. But go out there and learn. It's a fair place to go to give your students that little seasoning where they're getting out there. And that's why I said I like it. It promotes them well. It does a great job. There's some other places I won't even step foot in.
Right.
I got people call me all the time for my fighters. They don't want to pay. My guys don't fight for free.
Right.
These 2 just they don't have to work for the next 2 months.
That's
got
great.
A lot of good sponsors. I like to say thanks to them later. But like I said, Bobby puts on a good show. And if you want to make your students look good, this is one of the places to go.
And you need something like that. You need an organization that's going to help promote your product. And there's a lot of good fighters.
We promote them too.
Absolutely. There's a lot of good fighters here on Long Island.
Oh,
there are tons of good
without a
fighters.
doubt.
And there's a lot of good gyms out here. And out there, I want to give a shout out to all the fans out there and all the fighters out there that rep Long Island. Because there's a lot of good fighters coming out in the Bellator divisions and the UFC divisions from Long Island. And I've interviewed a lot of them, and I know a lot of them personally. I train in the same gym as them. Well, as far as LA Fitness is concerned, I know a bunch of UFC fighters that train in the same gym that I train in. So I think mixed martial arts has not only grown here on Long Island, it's grown throughout the 5 boroughs and throughout New York State. And I think it's remarkable what some of these fighters are really what some of these gyms are starting to produce as fighters. So this is a good question that I have for you, Sensei, because I know you fighters. I know Ruki has his own personality. And I know Jessica, she's very short with words. She doesn't really say much. And there's a lot of your fighters that don't have much to say when I interview them.
Listen, we do our talking in the ring.
No, I know that. But let me ask you this question. When you look at some of these different fighters that are coming out from Long Island, and you go to some of these events, and you're scouting them. You're looking at these fighters, and you're like, well, what do I have to? How do I have to train my fighter to fight this style of fighting, or how do I compete with this style of fighting? Now, MMA, kickboxing and MMA are completely different, because you can take somebody to the ground, you can dominate on the ground, and I've already spoken to you about that, and you said I don't teach my fighters Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu,
No,
because I don't need to teach them. I don't need to teach them that because our style of fighting can transition to any style of fighting.
Yes, we have all the basics. So we don't need to go to Thai boxing, jiu-jitsu. We don't need that. We have our own ground game. And that's the answer here. I don't go and scout these other people and see how they counter them. I train my guys to stick to the Goju plan.
And what is that?
The way we train.
And what is that?
I'm not going to tell you that. You got to pay me for that. I ain't cheap. Okay, so what I'm saying is that's why my guys are so hard to beat, because we don't bounce around to gym.
I think you guys are hard to beat because your personalities. You guys are, and like I said, the only person I have met out of your gym that's pretty lively is Ruki. He's the only one that I can talk to. He's like one of my buddies. I could sit down and have a conversation with him, and he'll laugh, and we'll giggle, and we'll crack jokes. And I'll talk to Jessica, and it's like, I'll ask her a couple of questions. She'll be like, yeah, yep.
Or is it the way I tell her to act so it fools everybody?
Mm-hmm. And who's the other fighter? I forget the other fighter.
Oh, Dante?
No. Who's the other one?
Jazzbeer.
Jazzbeer.
Oh, Jazzbeer.
Jazzbeer.
We've been trying to get him a fight. Been begging Bobby every week. Hey, you got another fighter?
Jazzbeer, every time I talk to Jazzbeer, it looks like he wants to rip my head off my body. I mean, I'll ask him a question, and I'll be like...
He's a hard man.
Yeah, he seems like... And his father comes up to me, his mother comes up to me and says, oh, he's just short with words. Oh, great interview, Errol. Great interview. And I'm like, yeah, it's a great interview. I ask him questions, and he answers the questions by one word, or he doesn't answer the question at all. And he's like, yeah, Jazzbeer's like that.
Yeah, he just... some guy on Halloween punched his brother.
Really?
Jumped his brother, and he went in there and beat them both up. He got a picture of the lowlifes too, some white trash guy from Ronkonkoma. Bald-headed guy, we're looking for you. I've been driving up and down the block too where the guy lives. I'm looking for him.
Look at you, trying to fight people for your...
Oh, no, that's right. You mess with one of us, you mess with us all. That's it. But should a 40-year-old man put his hand on a 15-year-old kid?
Yeah.
And the beating that his brother gave the guy was bad. He's bleeding. And, we called the police. We're trying to find out who the guy is that's hitting children.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This guy's going to...
And how old is this guy?
He's like in his 40s.
And he's beating up children?
He punched this kid in the face.
And how old is the kid?
Halloween. The kid threw an egg.
How old was the kid?
He was 16.
Oh.
No, 15, right?
That's...
15.
Yeah, he was 15. And then his brother seen it.
15.
And he was 17. He went in and beat both the guys up. And then they ran away, like Marshall Brady holding their nose. And
Marsha.
And then we've been driving up and down the block every day looking for him.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a lot of time. Oh. You put a lot of time into looking for somebody.
All these kids. I put a lot of time in all these kids.
Yeah.
Hours with Jessica, Ruki. Once you become family with us, you got the whole dojo backing you up. You know, if they're in trouble, we all respond. But like I said, our style of fighting is the old way of training, and it could be applied to the ring, the cage. So, like I said, it's a hard style. Many people don't make it. You know, but we'll see. We'll see what these two bring on Sunday.
Well, Jessica, I have one more question to ask you. The training. And I know I've seen your training. I saw your last fight, and your training. He really, Sensei really pushes you guys to a whole nother limit. How hard was he pushing you this time around than he hasn't done in the past?
He pushes me more than he already does in the past.
So
you got to feel her arms. You got to feel the.
I don't want to feel her arms.
No, I'm telling you, it's no joke.
She's got a fiance. Let him feel it. Let him feel her arms.
Not on camera. Keep it clean. This is.
Let him feel her. I don't want to feel her arms.
You see how solid she is.
I'm sure she's solid. That's her man. She's got a man. She's got a man.
I keep telling her to cover herself up so people don't see the definition of muscle.
Right.
I want it to be a surprise.
No. Listen, I've seen you break
2x3s.
2x3s on her chest, her arms. So, same thing with Ruki. I've seen what they can withstand, the pain that they can withstand. It's remarkable. I've seen you put your hand through 9 or 10 bricks.
That's nothing. Don't be impressed with breaking. Breaking is easy because it's science.
It's easy for you.
No, it's science. And
come on, if I punched a brick and I didn't know how to hit it, I'm going to break my hand.
Well, because you don't do hand training. I make these guys punch bricks, hit makiwawas, hit trees. The night before Jessica's first fight, I had her outside hours before the fight punching a tree.
Oh, I believe that.
She went into the tournament with bloody knuckles. You know, if you can't have the hand training, how are you going to hit somebody and hurt them?
No, I agree with you. I mean, the way you train, listen, everybody has their own style of training, and you have your own style of training. And I think it's remarkable because I've seen the way you train your fighters. I've seen some of your videos. I've been to your dojo. I know you personally. I think you're a sensational coach and a sensational trainer. So one question that I have for you, Sensei, and I have never asked you this question. And
no, I'm not available.
You don't know about availability.
I'm sorry.
You got a woman, okay? So you can stick by your woman and do whatever the hell you do, you know?
Just want to get out there.
No, really, I don't know, but if you want somebody, you see, Tyler Harrison will be interested right over there. He might be interested.
Listen,
we might have someone for you. His name is Joe.
Joe.
Oh,
yeah.
Joe, we love him.
Yes.
So what's your question here? What do you got for me?
When you have these dogs, right? And you train these dogs, and you have a way of training dogs. Everybody has a way of training dogs. Do you train your dogs like you train your fighters?
Yes.
I'm asking this question because I actually met recently. I think it was 2 months ago. I went to a dog training place, and she trains her dogs like fighters, and that's why they listen to her, like they fear her. You know what I mean? So when she tells them to sit, roll over, they do exactly what she does. She can clap her. She has like 2 snaps, and they do all different things like.
Well,
and they
follow,
they obey by it, right? I'm sorry?
My dogs are just puppies. They're only 4 months old. I think the warrior is at 52 pounds at 4 months, and the female's at like 40 pounds. But I think.
And they're puppies?
Oh yeah, they're only
40-pound puppy.
Oh yeah. These are Czechoslovakian German Shepherds.
Oh, that's great.
You know, they're working.
I'm not coming to your dojo.
Yeah, no, they're good dogs. But I sweep them. I wrestle with them. I choke them.
You ever see John Wick 3?
Yes, I think I did.
You see the killer dogs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those dogs are
Maoris.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
Those dogs are crazy, man.
In fact, the dog trainer is one of their sponsors, Spots Dog Training. She has a Malinois.
Okay.
And that dog is named Ninja. That dog is evil. And so we're training with that. But right now we're just in puppy training, you know. But they're going to go for full attack.
Really?
Yeah. And then I even got them, like, bulletproof vests. So they can carry ammo. I take them to the gun range. Ever since I bring them
Tyler,
up,
you hear
6 weeks
that?
old, they've been at the gun range since 6 weeks old.
Well,
And,
maybe if we hang Tyler, on one of those, like...
It sounds like he's aiming for you, not me.
I don't think he's aiming for anybody. I don't think
I
he's
send
aiming
the
for
dogs after the children. Nah, we got to toughen these kids up, right?
Tie a piece of meat to his leg and make him run.
Yeah, if you have fear, we get rid of fear in our school.
Get out
Fear
of here.
no
I'm
man,
not letting
fear no dog. Fear
I'm
nothing.
I'm not letting no 80 to 100-pound dog run after me with a piece of meat in my leg.
In my dojo, we did. We used to have dog sleeves because if my instructor brought in Master Urban's Doberman pinchers, they would come at you. You'd have to put your hand in their
Really?
mouth while you were fighting in class.
Nah, no thanks. No.
We do mace training when we're fighting. I'll spray you with mace while you're fighting, and then we'd have the dogs come at you.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
so
really.
you had to keep your wits to you.
Oh, that's a lot of wits, man. That's a lot of running
I
too.
hit him with mace when he was a kid. When he was a little kid, we hit him with mace.
Oh, me, I've been sprayed a little bit over here under my eye, and that stuff really burns.
Best stuff is pepper foam. You can only get in California.
I've actually heard of pepper
Yeah.
foam.
When you take it off your face, it pours it right into your eyeball.
See, that's what you need. That's what you need over there in the Army. You need one of those.
Oh, he did the tear gas thing. You liked it, didn't you?
The show's fun.
See, that's how my guys are. We set him up there ready. He's sucking in
Shit is
tear gas
fun.
and liking it. We're going to make him a heartbreaker and a life taker.
Well, Rookie, your mom's not here. She usually comes to these interviews.
Yeah.
Is your mom excited for your fight coming up?
Oh yeah, she's excited.
She always is.
she
I
can't
love
wait.
your mom. I love your mom. She is one of the sweetest women you could ever meet. She really is. I know you shake your head.
Debatable.
I think she's sweet.
She
She's sweet.
yelled at him when we were.
She's sweet to me.
I
mean,
got nervous.
She's sweet to me.
She's
She's never been mean to me. So I think
You're
she's
on the
sweet.
bad side.
Well,
Just say yes,
every-
ma'am, all the time. You won't have a problem.
anybody on their bad side, you want to beware.
Not her. I'm just telling you.
I mean, you want to
She
you want to
studied
run
judo
if you
when
get
she was
me
a
in.
kid. We don't mess with her.
No, I understand. Well, Rookie, why don't you give a shout out to some of the fans out there, and actually give a shout out to some of your sponsors.
Yes. Shout out to B&I Auto, Great River Oil, EDP Dental, All American Awards, and Spot Dog Training.
And
thank you
of course,
for
Worldwide Radio.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, I love you guys, and I love everything you guys bring to the the picture and everything that you guys do. I respect you guys. I know I haven't been around in the last couple of weeks. It's been I've been under a lot of stress. There's a lot of stuff going on, but that's life. Everybody has their own stuff going on, but that doesn't take away what I feel. Look what I have behind me.
Yep.
Look what I have behind me. No, behind me, Rookie. Behind me. Behind me. So
Get the glass. Sorry.
he looks behind himself. He doesn't look behind me, but I have nothing but love for you guys, and I have a lot
Same
of
thing
respect
here.
for you guys.
We love you.
We appreciate everything that you do.
No, I respect you guys, and I didn't cancel on you the last time.
Yeah.
The reason why I canceled on you the last time because it was
Oh, so
cold.
you did cancel.
what happened?
I was
Just said you
cold.
didn't cancel.
What happened?
I was cold.
Well, there was a reason why I canceled.
Oh, yeah, but you said you didn't cancel.
Well, I didn't cancel it. There was a
But you
situation.
just said you did.
But you know what?
And I was cold.
Rookie, you are a pain in my
That
ass.
poor
You know that?
child's
You are a
outside
pain in my
cold.
ass. You really are a pain in my ass. How about you, Jessica? Why don't you give a shout out to some of your sponsors, some of the people that sponsor you?
Okay, shout out to Spots Dog Training, B&I Auto, Great River Oil Company, EDP Dental, and All American Awards. Thank you guys so much.
Highly appreciated, by the way.
Yes, highly
Yeah.
appreciated.
I mean, they don't have to work for 2 months.
Oh no.
So when are you guys getting married?
We're gonna wait till after he's done with the army, like around there.
So how long?
Like 2 or 3 years.
Oh, so you're just staying in the Army for 2 or 3 years?
Well, I think you go up to 3 years, then you can re-enlist or something.
You can re-enlist, yeah.
Yeah, so I think they're going to go.
Is that what you want to do with your career, Dante?
Well, I know I enjoy it, so I'm going to do it as much as I can, see where it takes me. And from there, I just, I don't plan ahead to go everything by day. That's just how I am, so we'll see.
Do you have any dreams and admirations after the service? Do you see yourself doing anything particular?
I mean, not really. They just stay happy.
How old are you, Dante?
19.
You're a kid. You guys are babies. You guys are babies.
They already have a good jump on life.
Yeah.
We got to go shooting this Wednesday, by the way. All of us.
Oh, yeah.
I take everyone in my dojo shooting.
Yeah.
And I make them all buy guns.
I don't like
Shot
guns.
expert.
Oh, you're crazy.
I don't like guns.
I
I use
just got
these
one.
are my guns. These are my
Yeah,
guns.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can't show up to a
Oh,
gunfight
man.
with your hands.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
We got 50 cows down to everything. Everything.
I'm actually pretty good at throwing knives, believe it or not.
That's great.
I'm pretty good at throwing knives. I can
Throw a knife to a gun.
I can throw darts, I can throw knives. I'm pretty good. I used to throw flying stars. What are they called? Ninja Stars.
I started
My friend had a base in his basement. He had like this big bullseye thing, and we used to practice throwing stars.
Yeah.
And I actually became really, really good at that. So
yeah, we had axes, throwing knives, stars. I teach him all that. Ricky's been doing it since he's a kid. Bow and arrows.
Bows and arrows. I like shooting bow and arrows. I like shooting bow and arrows.
We have a lot of bows in the school.
I'm just not a gun fan. I don't know. I'm not a gun fan. I know you love guns. I've seen your gun collection. I know your guns.
We got a lot more since then.
I'm sure. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
But,
Sensei, why don't you give a shout out to some of the sponsors that sponsor you guys?
No, I gotta say thanks to Spots Dog Train. They're taking care of my dogs. Thank you. B&I Auto.
B&I.
They are the greatest guys. I've gotten more than 17 cars from them. In fact, they helped Jessica's mom. They almost gave her a free car. We got Great River Oil Company. Best guy, Ted. He's a great guy. I called for oil the other day. 15 minutes, it was filled. By the time I hung up the phone, man, they were there. They're good people. Then we got All American Awards. Does all our T-shirts. He's been with me for over, since, it's got to be about 18 years, 17 years.
Right.
And then you, Earl, you're one of us that's been.
I respect. Listen, you want to know something? There's a lot of people in the mixed martial arts world. I know a lot of them. I mean, I'm around all these different fighters. I know a lot of MMA, UFC fighters, and Bellator fighters. Some of them are real, and some of them are fake. You know what I mean? And you get to know them by the way you interview them. You get to know them, their personalities. Ever since I met you, you've pretty been straightforward with me, and
That's who I am.
And you pretty much, we grew together, you know, as friends, and I respect you as a person. I really do. I want you to know that it's not me that I've been ducking and leaving you guys. It's just been, you know, it's been a tough 3 months for me with the network, because we're working on a big deal right now. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks it could happen. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so there's a lot of opportunity, and I'm just excited, and I just want to let you guys know that I support you guys. You know, I'm your biggest fans, and I'm going to be there on Sunday, and I'm going to be rooting for you guys. I don't care if I know the fight that you're going to be fighting. I'm going to be rooting for you guys because you know I respect you guys more than anything. So I want you to know that.
Thank you very much, and you know, like I said, you've helped us a lot. We try to help you back.
I know you do.
You know, and it's when you meet people in life, and making new friends and making good friends is what it's about.
Friends are, you know, forever. You know, if you can,
it always doesn't work out like that.
No, it doesn't.
You know,
well, I know all about that.
But I'm one of those guys that I'm a good friend.
I respect you.
You know,
I respect you. I respect Jessica. I like messing around with some of your fighters. I do. Jazzbeer, I always mess around with him. And his parents, his father laughs at me all the time because I always tell him, I was like, I'm going to interview your son. I've interviewed Jazzbeer 3 times, and all 3 times his father was sitting around me, and he's like, oh, what questions are you going to ask Jazzbeer now? I was like, I don't know. As many questions as he going to answer. He's like, he'll probably answer you with 1-word answers. So I figured he was going to do that. He doesn't say much.
Really good food.
Yeah. His mom does cook food.
Oh, his mom?
You.
Oh, yeah. Oh, his mom's sweet, too.
Oh, yeah.
His mom's sweet. His father's cool. Really, I mean, really, really cool. And his brother, really, really nice guy, too. He talks. He's actually more.
He talks more than everybody. We try to shut him up.
Oh, yeah.
I like him.
He talks more than me.
Jazzbeer, he doesn't really say much, you know. Yeah, and every time I look at him, he looks like every time I ask him a question, he looks like he wants to rip my head off. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on, man, I'm just trying to ask you a question here.
He wants to go pro.
Answer the question.
He really wants to go pro. He says
I give him credit, man. I hope he does.
We'll see.
I hope he does.
You got to put the work in.
I saw his fight.
Bobby to get him
a fight. He got robbed on his last fight.
That is what it is. Listen,
he got robbed on his last fight. I thought he won that fight.
There's a lot of times you get robbed. You got to take it and shake it off.
Well, the amateur divisions. Once you become pro. And you guys know this. I tell you this all the time.
Shake it off.
Once you become pro, you don't want to lose. So you want to lose now. Yeah. You want to lose now as an amateur because your amateur record means nothing. It means nothing.
Your pro record means nothing. Yeah, if you get the right sponsors, they're going to pay you anyway.
That's true.
Jessica's, we got right now, if she wins this title, we might have a perfume. She's going to get her own perfume line.
Wow, really?
That and a clothing line. We're not sure which one we're going to do first. So we're already pushing on that. So she's got to win this.
Well, if you make a cologne line, I'll wear it for you.
I still make my own cologne.
What is that? Is that your sweat?
Yeah.
We used
Rookie
to use
Sweat.
the medicine.
We'll call it. You know, your name would be a perfect cologne name, Rookie. The desire for men.
Yeah, I got a
desire for men.
I got a good company that has a lot of formulas.
What happened?
We have a good company I'm friends with from years ago.
Yeah.
And they have formulas for sale.
Okay.
So that's why I said I'm on the edge of it. You got to find a little more money.
Awesome.
But hopefully they won't have to fight too many long. I want to make sure they have a good career, make a little money. Every time they get sponsored, we put a little bit away in some kind of a retirement fund.
I give you a lot of credit because a lot of people don't do that. So.
Yeah, and I don't take nothing from these guys.
I know you don't.
Anything yet?
Hell no.
No. Okay. So
No, I know how you are.
Very fair with everything.
I know how you are.
I
know
just
your
protect them.
personality.
I make them sign a contract with me that no one else can steal their money. So they only
nobody steal them. Period. I mean,
well, they can
because you know how these promoters are.
I do.
There are feeding frenzy. Yeah. That's what they are. They like to feed off the next big fighter.
Wait till you see who's in my corner this week. That'll be a surprise. It's going to piss a lot of people off.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. So he's opening up some big doors for Jessica. Hopefully, we'll see how much it pisses some people off. So.
Well, hopefully it pisses off Kyle Carroll because I like to watch him get pissed off. So.
I don't remember Kyle.
Look, like I said, he was fan of Jessica. I don't care.
I like messing. Listen, whatever I say, I'll say it to your face. I have no fear of saying what I feel. If I don't like somebody, and it's not that I hate Kyle Carroll. I dislike the personality that he is as a person. So, but that doesn't mean that I dislike him as a person.
See, what I look at is, what is he going to do for my fighters?
No, and I understand that.
It took weeks for the interview to come up. You know, I want stuff. I want it now. I want to have someone that's going to have their shit together.
Right.
If they're not, then I don't want to be involved in it.
I got you. And that's why you're here, man.
They first, Carol first met me, I think about 3 years ago.
He met you or he ate you?
No, she met me. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was up on the.
No, I was making a joke. I said Kyle Carroll. Yeah. I said, did he meet you or
it's
did he
the girl.
eat you?
Who was the girl that started it?
Kerry.
Yeah.
Kerry.
So I met her up on the North Shore.
Kerry used to be a part of our network too.
Really?
Yes.
She wanted to interview Jessica, and I said, all right, we'll sit down and talk, and never got back to me. So, and I was like, then she called me again a year later. I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Well, I just want to let everybody know, I like to build enemies in this sport. So I don't care who hates me or hates what I have to say. I don't care. Yeah. So I say
everyone
what
hates me.
I
you know
say,
what I'm talking about out there.
I say what I feel when it comes to mixed martial arts, and even if you don't like it, I could care less. And if you got a problem with it, you can come and see me. I really don't give a crap. So if anybody dislikes what I have to say, well, go fly a kite. I don't really care. I love going into a room and feeling all the hatred towards me. I love it. It feeds me. You look at me, you got to look at the floor. They hate this fucking guy is here. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah? Well, but wait till we see who's in my ring corner this weekend. I can't wait. It's going to be good. I'm going to introduce you to him. He's got some good stuff. I'll be taking some videos, pictures, and some interviews. I already told Bobby I'll be there, and I'll be helping out in that area. So, well, another good shout out to Bobby. Shout out to Bobby Campbell. Yes. Yeah. Jackhammer Promotions. Looking forward to it this weekend. Haven't been there in two fights. So he invited me to both of them, and I want to apologize to Bobby. It's been a little bit hard. And give a shout out to his fiancée, Teresa. I mean, she's awesome. I mean, Bobby has a great team behind him. And I respect him more than anything. Mike Washington, a good friend of mine who is a part of our network, who is a judge over there. I want to give a shout out to Mike Washington and what he has done in the mixed martial arts, in the world. I just want to give a shout out to all the people that support Jackhammer Promotions and really MMA Long Island. So I really respect you guys. I thank you for coming into the studios for the first time here. And we're working on something where we're probably going to be moving into another place. Oh, really? Yes. And I want to put out a great shout out to all these fighters this weekend. Yes. There is nothing but great warriors out there fighting in this show this weekend, from the women's division to the men's division. I'm excited. There's nothing but great talent out there and a lot of great schools, and it's going to be a good show. Come down and watch us. Bobby Campbell, Jackhammer Promotion. I don't know if there's any tickets available. If you want to get tickets, all you got to do is reach out to Bobby Campbell, Jackhammer Promotions, reach out to Teresa, reach out to Bobby, reach out to his team. I don't know if there's any tickets available. go out to McKay's. Maybe you can get a ticket at the door. I don't know. I know tickets sell pretty quick over there. So give a shout out to Bobby again one more time. As you guys know, you can call us at 1-845-478-3272. Follow us by going to our website at worldwidesportsradio.com. And remember, guys, follow us on all our platforms. I will be back in 2 weeks, and we will have a very special guest in the studio, MMA fighter, UFC fighter. I'm not going to mention it, but you will see it. I will be posting it the week after this week. I'll be in Miami, so I will only be doing a show on Monday for Down to the Wire, and I will be away for the Super Bowl, working a little bit at Radio Row and helping us promote our product over there at Radio Row. So I will be back on Saturday, and I'll be ready for the Super Bowl here in Long Island. So I'm looking forward to that. And thank you, John, for coming in. I really appreciate it. And Jessica, good luck. I'm looking forward to watching you fight.
Luck for rabbits.
Thank you.
We don't deal with luck.
Well, you know, I give you luck. It doesn't mean I'm saying you're going to be lucky.
luck.
I'm just,
Got the skill.
you know.
That's right.
Dante, you going to be there, man?
Yes, I will.
Are you going to be wearing Jessica's face on your chest?
We don't go that.
That's a drag.
Come on, Dante. I mean, like, get a shirt made and say, that's
Don't
my
do it.
fiance. You
Don't
know?
do it. Don't
That's
be
a
a
whole
beta
track,
male.
too.
That's
Don't
my
go backwards
fiance.
on
that
me.
point,
Here's the
just
problem
Don't be a
with
beta
that.
male.
I like that. I think it'll be cool. What do you think?
Trying to make my guys into
Just
beta males.
supporting,
I'm
being
not
there.
making him
being
anything.
there
I'm
is
trying
good
to-
enough.
I'm
Being
trying
there,
to give
supporting
him
is-
He ain't wearing no woman's name on his chest. Don't ever get a woman's tattoo on your body.
No.
Oh,
Done.
you can put it on your ass. You won't. She won't. Nobody will
No,
see
I
it but
have,
her.
I have two ends.
If you
Wanna
do that,
bend
you
over
do
and
that.
says,
That's,
"Mom?"
that's not my thing.
Put it on your inner thigh. This
do
is
it.
Jessica.
Don't do it.
This is Jessica's.
Don't do it.
Don't listen to a word he tells you. That's my opinion.
Oh man! Don't listen to Tyler Harris.
I don't want to know what cover-ups he got.
The nickname for Tyler Harrison is moron. So if you want to listen to somebody like that,
More
good luck.
than yours. You're right.
You're damn right you are.
He was grossing me out. He was picking his nose earlier. I had to look at my phone.
Well, he likes picking his
I
nose.
did. I said,
Yeah, he likes
let me
picking
look
his
down,
nose.
let me
Yeah.
look down.
He does that a lot on
Does he
on
really?
there.
I
Yeah, he
never-
does on camera.
On
He really
camera.
does. On camera, he really does. He picks his nose and he probably picks his ass too. I don't know.
As long as you don't smell your finger afterwards. That's
Well, he does. He does. He's got his hands
I
in his
believe
mouth
it.
too.
I lick it.
You'll lick it. Yeah. See, I told you he's got his hands in his
He's a
mouth.
liquor.
Yes. He doesn't even wear underwear. That's what I hear from his woman.
Well, we all go commando, don't
See,
we?
that's a little too much.
I mean, that's what his
information
woman
that you know.
told me. I mean, I don't know what she told me.
That's so much information that you know.
I don't know. She just told me he doesn't wear any underwear. I guess he doesn't have any cleanly underwear. Does he sniff his own dirty underwear?
She's comparing
doesn't
things
have
between
any.
you two.
All right, we're out of here.
Anyways, that's it for our show, CageDenMMA. And remember, we are live every single other Friday. CageDenMMA, the world is going to be watching on Sunday at Jackhammer Promotions. Until then, until a week from now, this is Errol Marks and CageDenMMA saying good night, and we'll talk to you then. Up next, the home stretch with Tyler Moron Harrison.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.